peppermint oil. Everybody loves peppermint oil because it smells fantastic. But did you know it also can help you improve performance on demanding cognitive tasks, while also reducing the mental fatigue associated with extended cognitive task performance? So I've got a link there to a study published in Phytochemicals in Health and Disease in 2018. Next, we've got vetiver and cedarwood oils. A 2001 study by Terry Friedman found that inhaling both cedarwood and vetiver essential oils 3 times a day for 30 days led to a significant improvement in ADHD symptoms in children. So how amazing is that? Instead of putting kids on Ritalin or Adderall or whatever, whatever the new modern wonder drug is, just have them smell an oil. And there's a quote from Friedman: "When the essential oil is inhaled, the micro droplets are carried to the brain's limbic system, which is that portion that is the processing center for reason, emotion, and smell, and to the hypothalamus, which is the hormone command center. So it helps those kids calm down. And these are excellent sleep oils as well. So if you wanted to anchor either clarity and focus or sleep, you could use those oils.
Hi there, Adrian here, and this is a video from a Zoom session that we do. We do these Zoom sessions every Sunday, and we take questions and answers from the audience, some of our students, some of our members. We never know what questions are coming up, so I'm always excited to do these sessions, and I hope to see you at one of them. Make sure you hit the subscribe button below and check out the other playlists that we have. Thank you, enjoy.
I just want to say welcome to another after hour discussion with professional coaches. Now we have a very, very interesting session for you today. Now, I want to share this quote with you because I think this is one of my favorite quotes that I've came across in my research or reading around NLP, and I can't remember exactly who said it. Maybe it was Robert Dilts. And he says that, true emotional freedom is becoming aware of your anchors and choosing the ones you want to respond to. I believe that as we're moving through life, we're consistently engaging with different anchors and stimuli that cause us to react and move and behave in a particular way. However, when we're empowered to choose the responses that we want, we become the master of self, and we become the master of the reality that we are creating. So I'd just like to leave this little nugget with you, because this is a nugget that has literally shifted the way I think about life and shift the way I shop when I'm learning. True emotional freedom is becoming aware of your anchors and choosing the ones you want to respond to. And today we have a very, very interesting speaker. Anna Fox is a holistic therapist, and today she'll be sharing on NLP anchoring using essential oils. And I love my oils. I love my peppermint. And I have some datura here as well that I usually use during my sessions. So I'm really, really excited to see what else I can learn from Anna tonight and what else she'll have to share with you. And without any further ado, I'd like to pass the baton over to Anna so that she can grace you with her presence. Welcome to the After Hour discussion, Anna.
Thank you very much. That was a good introduction. Yeah. So without further ado, shall I just get started and get straight into it?
Yes, ma'am. Take it away.
So we're going to be looking at NLP anchoring using essential oils, which can also be more succinctly called aromatic anchoring. And what I'd like you to think about as well as we go through this presentation is how you can use this to actually add a residual income stream to your business. Because as coaches and healers, obviously we're not going to be with a client forever, or they're not going to be with us forever. And think about what's the average time that your client keeps having the coaching sessions. Do you sell single sessions one at a time? Do you sell packages? how many sessions on average before a client stops coming? And in my experience of having bioresonance and naturopathy clinics and holistic clinics, our goal is to empower the client and get them well, get them self-sufficient so they don't need you anymore. And when that does happen, it's a great celebration, but also at the same time, it's a loss of income. So it's a double-edged sword, isn't it? So with the essential oils and using them as anchors, not only is it a highly effective way to anchor, but also it can add a residual income stream to your coaching business. In effect, you're teaching a man to fish. You're teaching your clients how to anchor simply and effectively with essential oils. You're serving them by showing them how to get therapeutic grade oils cheaper. They become empowered and they save, and you keep earning even after they stop sessions. So everybody wins. Full disclosure, I only use one brand of essential oils. I've been a holistic therapist for over 20 years. I've studied and incorporate in my practice psychology, naturopathy, NLP, emotion code, fast EFT, bioresonance, basically everything to do with natural medicine. I'm in it. I don't do anything half-assed. I always put my entire ass into it, and just absolutely love everything about natural therapies. And I've been trying to study and implement and use aromatherapy on and off for about 25 years, but it's never worked. The oils never did what they said they were supposed to do. And even worse, I was allergic to them. I was getting welts, rashes, sneezing, burning eyes, coughing, you name it. So what I learned recently is that there's no regulation. You can put anything you like in a bottle and label it as 100% essential oils and sell it, and there's no repercussions. It doesn't get checked. So the vast majority of oils in the market, they don't actually contain what they say they contain. Some of them contain 0% of what they say they contain. So it's pretty hard to find a high quality essential oil on the market. And through past experience, I had been the biggest hater of network marketing ever. And so I stayed away from doTERRA like the plague. Anytime everyone would mention it, you know, my eyes would glaze over. I'd be like, no, 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 stay away from me. But since I started using it, not only am I not allergic to the oils, I'm also getting results, and I can't help but share them with others, and everyone I'm sharing the oils with are getting amazing results. So again, everybody wins. People get great results and I get residual income. So the screenshot here is of an article that appeared in the special issue of Essential Oils Extraction Methods, Chemistry and Bioactivities, New Insights and Findings. And these scientists took 27 commercial samples of birch essential oil. Every single one of them was labeled as 100% birch essential oil. But when they tested these products, none of them actually contained any birch, any substance from the birch tree, as they were supposed to. And similar research has shown that 70% of all lavender essential oil, 99% of all vanilla scents and flavors, and 100% of the world's birch essential oils are not from the plant. They use synthetically made compounds from the lab instead. Sometimes they have a little bit of actual essential oil and they dilute it with the synthetic chemicals. And sometimes it's just all synthetic. And it's always labeled as 100% natural. So you've got to be careful what you use. So the reason why I finally finally stopped putting my fingers in my ears and going, la, 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 don't talk to me about doTERRA, is because it is actually third-party tested to guarantee purity. and to make sure that it is essential oil from the plant as it claims to be. The other reason is that doTERRA sources its plants from where they're native. Research has found that the same plant grown in different habitats will have different therapeutic benefits, different amounts of the medicinal compounds that you want to have in a plant. And overwhelmingly, it has shown that when a plant is grown in its native soil and in its native climate, it has the highest therapeutic benefit. So for this reason, doTERRA goes the probably commercially less convenient and less economical way of working with small-scale farmers all around the world to grow the plants where they are native to get the highest medicinal value. They also cut out middlemen and brokers because brokers, not only do they sometimes not pay the farmers at all, or they pay them late, but also they are the ones who often adulterate the oils. So they might get a superb quality of essential oil from the farmer and distiller, but then to make more money, they will dilute it with the synthetic compounds when they sell it to the companies that bottle the oils and distribute them. And finally, doTERRA also gives back to the communities of the farmers that they work with. They like working with small farm cooperatives, and they basically they ask the communities what do they need. They've built a hospital in Africa. They provide they've built schools. They provide disaster relief, and they've got a foundation called Healing Hands Foundation, where they work to eliminate sex trafficking and provide menstrual education and support for girls and women in poor countries where in some places it's still a taboo, and when girls start menstruating they become ostracized and kicked out of the village, and they have to go into the hide in caves or in the forest and fend for themselves until they're clean enough to return to society again. So with Healing Hands Foundation, they go in and educate the communities about, hey, this is natural, it's where babies come from, and so on. So that's enough about why I use the oils that I use and why I'll be talking about them. And what I'm saying about the oils may not necessarily hold true for other brands of oils for the reasons that I've mentioned. So now let's get on to the NLP anchoring. And just to review, I know everybody already knows this. Everybody here is a practitioner, but just for completeness, let's just review what NLP anchoring is. It refers to the process of associating an internal experience with some external or internal trigger so that the experience may be quickly and sometimes secretly re-accessed. You can create an anchor to hold on to your optimal state, and you can re-access it anytime you want. Anchoring can be a very useful tool for helping to establish and reactivate the mental processes associated with creativity, learning, concentration, and other important resources. So you can access the resourceful states in any situation, be in control of your emotional state, design unique specific triggers to tap into personal power at any time, and choose from a range of emotional responses rather than reacting automatically. So the steps in NLP anchoring, we all know, are quite simple. You react a past vivid event and try to re-experience it fully. Then you provide a specific stimulus that you wish to associate with that desired state in order to anchor it. Then you change the state and test by providing the stimulus again and seeing if it will bring you back into that state. If not, you just have to repeat that anchor many times until it becomes fully associated. So the keys to creating a powerful anchor are intensity of the state. So if you've been to a Tony Robbins seminar, he works you up into a frenzy so that you're really fully associated in the state before you anchor. The timing is important. You want to apply the anchor when you're in that peak state and release it before it decreases in intensity. You also want the type of stimulus that you're using as the anchor to be unique. So it's quite common to use finger positions as anchors, but what we'll be talking about today, it might surprise you how many unique unique anchors you can actually create with essential oils. Obviously, you want it to be replicable. You want to be able to fire the trigger in the same way each time. And the number of times that you've actually done the association to set up the anchor, it determines how strong that anchor is to bring you back into the state. So the types of anchors we might use and which happen naturally in our lives, they could be visual, for example, seeing a certain colleague and immediately feeling happy or angry. They can be olfactory, when you're smelling an apple pie and suddenly being transported back to childhood. Gustatory, associating a certain food with comfort. Auditory, such as, a song that will take you right back to a particular time in your life. Or kinesthetic, which is the most commonly used type of anchor with various hand positions or sometimes even entire body postures. So why am I focusing on olfactory anchors today? Well, our sense of smell is actually a direct pathway straight into the subconscious mind. So as we talked a couple of slides ago about the number of times that you have to repeat the anchor to actually get it fully associated, you're basically taking a shortcut when you use smells as your anchors, because the olfactory bulb is connected directly into your limbic system. And this limbic system regulates your basically unconscious behaviors and emotions and how you react to things, your automatic reactions. So the olfactory bulb is directly connected to both the hippocampus and the amygdala. So it's your memory center, your emotion center, your behavior center, and it's connected to your hormones, and everything gets instantly activated with smells. So the other awesome reason why essential oils are so good to anchor states is that certain oils are already known to produce certain states. So you're not picking a random finger position that is completely meaningless and having to work hard to attach meaning to that position. The oils themselves already have the ability to produce these states, and you just have to pick the right oil, and you skip that whole process, and it works automatically. So some of the common states that we might want to anchor with our clients as a coach or NLP practitioner could be study, focus, motivation, passion, high performance or flow state, switching on to start work. Sometimes you might want to anchor feeling abundant, creative, courageous, playful, or joyful. In interpersonal relationships, you might want to anchor feeling compassionate, forgiveness, patient, protected, and having clear boundaries. And finally, you might want to also anchor some more restful states, such as feeling grateful, present, grounded, switching off after work, and sleep. So as you can see, I've broken up those states into sort of 4 areas. So we'll focus on each quadrant at a time. I've called the first quadrant productivity and focus. So let's have a look at some oils that can help us anchor those states first. So the best essential oils for focus, clarity, and productivity. Rosemary essential oil is known to improve memory, but can it also boost cognitive function? A 2012 study published in Therapeutic Advances in Psychopharmacology showed for the first time that cognitive performance can significantly be improved by diffusing rosemary essential oil. It's believed that 1,8-cineol, one of the main active chemicals in rosemary oil, helps improve cognitive ability. The study found the higher the concentration of 1,8-cineol, the more cognitive improvement occurred. So that links back to Obviously, rosemary that's grown in its native soil and native climate is going to be higher in the medicinal compounds, such as 1,8-cineol, than rosemary grown elsewhere. Oh, and with each one, I've added a link if you want to go back to the study and read the original study that I'm referring to. So rosemary would be a good one to anchor a state for study, focus, memory. Peppermint oil. Everybody loves peppermint oil because it smells fantastic. But did you know it also can help you improve performance on demanding cognitive tasks while also reducing the mental fatigue associated with extended cognitive task performance? So I've got a link there to a study published in Phytochemicals in Health and Disease in 2018. Next, we've got vetiver and cedarwood oils. A 2001 study by Terry Friedman found that inhaling both cedarwood and vetiver essential oils 3 times a day for 30 days led to a significant improvement in ADHD symptoms in children. So how amazing is that? Instead of putting kids on Ritalin or Adderall or whatever, whatever the new modern wonder drug is, just have them smell an oil. And there's a quote from Friedman: "When the essential oil is inhaled, the micro droplets are carried to the brain's limbic system, which is that portion that is the processing center for reason, emotion, and smell, and to the hypothalamus, which is the hormone command center." So it helps those kids calm down. And these are excellent sleep oils as well. So if you wanted to anchor either clarity and focus or sleep, you could use those oils. Next, we've got spearmint oil. A 2016 animal study published in Physiology and Behavior found that a blend of rosemary oil and spearmint oil may have beneficial effects on learning and memory, as well as with aging of the brain as one gets older. Frankincense essential oil is known as the king of oils because it's highly therapeutic and medicinal. It's a potent immune stimulant and anti-inflammatory, and it's also a soothing, calming oil that when used during meditation can facilitate deeper states of consciousness. A 2019 study on older men with weak memory and learning disabilities found that ingesting frankincense facilitated the acquisition and retention of motor memory after 4 weeks. Motor memory tasks can include playing the piano and attentively writing. So how good would that be for athletes if you're trying to anchor a state for practicing their skills, their motor skills? We've got sandalwood oil, which comes from the roots and wood of a tree that we do have native Australian sandalwood. There's also Hawaiian sandalwood and Indian sandalwood. The earthy aroma can provide grounding and increase calm due to its sedative effects. One clinical study found a correlation between increases in attention span and the application of sandalwood to the skin. So think about how you might want to anchor that for attention span, study, taking exams, all sorts of things. Lavender oil is one of the most popular oils because it's very versatile. It can help you relax and unwind, but also it turns out to be great for preventing work burnout. A Japanese study on work performance found that using it during work breaks seemed to prevent deterioration of performance in later work sessions. Citrus oils are expressed from the rind of the fruit and are usually cold pressed. Oils like grapefruit, sweet orange, bergamot, and lemon are known to be energizing, invigorating, and detoxifying. Lemon oil isn't just an antibacterial cleaning agent, it's actually been shown to decrease work errors too. A Japanese study on typists' work performance found that workers made 54% fewer errors when they inhaled lemon oil. So if you've got a client who needs to be highly accurate in their work, you can use lemon oil as an anchor to make sure that they're so focused they make 54% fewer errors in their job. By the way, if anybody's got any questions, just feel free to just unmute yourself and ask anytime. Or if you want me to slow down, I tend to power through rather quickly. So the next section, abundant, creative, courageous, playful, and joyful states that we might want to anchor, I've kind of classified them as positivity and creativity related states. So the best essential oils for positivity and creativity, good old frankincense again, the king of oils. It's a very popular essential oil for enhanced creativity and for people who suffer from brain injuries. Frankincense is rich in sesquiterpenes, a compound that helps deliver oxygen to the brain, helping heal damaged brain cells. For example, this recent study from 2020 showed the measurable effects that essential oils, including frankincense, have on mental health for improved function. It also works to calm and soothe your mind so that you feel more clear-headed. It's like a breath of fresh air for your mind. That being said, once it works to clear your thoughts, it also allows your mind to focus more on your creative process without being held back by overwhelming thoughts. So if you've got a client who's got writer's block, this would be the ideal oil to anchor that state where they're inspired to keep writing and to focus on the creativity and not get distracted. Next, we've got peppermint oil again. That's another overachiever oil that serves a lot of purposes. It's got a very refreshing aroma that can heal headaches and also promote concentration. When you're stuck in a creative rut, it's easy to get distracted. Peppermint oil provides the perfect pick-me-up when your mind is feeling sluggish or unmotivated. It helps you boost enthusiasm for your projects and let go of the distractions surrounding you so that you can focus on feeling inspired. Evidence of these effects have been shown in multiple trials, including this 2008 study. Jasmine essential oil takes a more euphoric approach when boosting creativity in comparison to other options. It's hard to find inspiration to create when you feel down in the dumps or critical of yourself. Jasmine oil helps you let go of those feelings that are holding you back and invoke feelings of confidence and joy. A study from 2013 explored the positive effect on emotions and well-being that jasmine oil can provide through inhalation. The euphoric effects result in increased productivity and creativity, especially for artists who are working on big projects. This is a great choice to boost inspiration when you feel like there is too much pressure for you to create. A very popular method for using jasmine oil is by applying it between your eyebrows, otherwise known as your third eye, which brings a wave of optimism and euphoria to your mind, body, and soul. So if you want to enter into a very intuitive and open state, jasmine would be perfect. Lavender oil. Most people will associate the smell of lavender with sleep or relaxation, so you might be wondering how lavender oil can help boost your creativity. Certain studies, including this 2017 article, show that lavender oil is one of the best essential oils to help reduce feelings of anxiety or worry. When you're working on something and begin to feel inadequate or stressed out, lavender oil can offer a fast-acting sense of relief. This allows you to feel instantly better and clear-headed so that you can get back to the task at hand. So great for people who get easily distracted. Another way that lavender works creatively is by promoting open-mindedness. It helps you explore your thoughts and emotions, as well as helping you express those ideas creatively. Next, we've got tangerine oil. Citrus essential oils are highly effective when it comes to motivation, creativity, and joy. So always think of a citrus when you're trying to anchor those states. The bright scents of lemon, lime, orange, and tangerine can help bring you out of a dark place mentally by boosting your mood. Research shows that tangerine oil can uplift your mood to invoke a feeling of childlike playfulness. When you try this essential oil, it can help you tap into that imaginative part of your mind without any limits or worries. Instead of focusing on what might go wrong, tangerine oil enables you to focus on thoughts and ideas that bring you joy. Bergamot oil is the perfect essential oil when you need to block out any intrusive thoughts or understand which factors are stifling your creative work. Bergamot oil has a lovely scent that promotes balance and harmony while reducing stress and negativity. Even just a quick spritz of this essential oil around your office will help block out bad energy and stay focused on your projects. In fact, a study from 2017 showed promising results when using bergamot oil to promote positive feelings in waiting rooms of mental health treatment centers. Eucalyptus oil, an Australian native. If you're looking for an essential oil that provides a stronger sense of mental clarity, eucalyptus oil is a fantastic option. Studies have shown that this essential oil can increase awareness through the use of aromatherapy. The scent of eucalyptus is fresh and inspiring to help you feel excited and clear-headed. Some people even tie eucalyptus plants to their shower head in order to enjoy these benefits before they take on their day. The steam from the shower spreads the uplifting aroma so that you can feel twice as fresh after your shower. So that would be a great one to anchor to get you ready for the day and enthusiastic about going to work instead of, dragging your feet, oh, not this again. So the next lot of states, compassion, forgiveness, patient, protected, and clear boundaries, I've lumped them into like the interpersonal category, states that help you interact more positively with others.
I see there's a very, very interesting question in the chat just before you continue, Anna.
Oh, yes, please go ahead.
Someone, yeah. So Jenny asks, are these oils addictive? Yeah, and it's something I'm curious to know the answer behind this as well. And, even as you're going through these, it reminds me of when I was a kid. And when we got sick, my granny would take peppermint oil, soft grease, and then she'll mix it with some other stuff. And when you're sick, she'll rub that on you during the night. And the next day, it's like you're brand new. It's like magic. Yes. But you can go ahead and share your thoughts on that question for Jenny. Thank you.
Yes, and first I'll just comment on the peppermint oil and your granny rubbing it on your chest. Peppermint oil is very cooling. So if you're overheating, rubbing it on your chest, your forehead, or the back of your neck is a really good quick way of cooling down. So if you've got a fever, especially a child who's got a fever, a really quick and easy way to bring down their fever is to actually apply peppermint oil. So your granny knew that and used it very effectively. In terms of whether essential oils are addictive, I haven't seen any indication of that. I haven't seen any studies or any mention even of essential oils being addictive. I can't say 100% that they're not because I haven't specifically looked, but having been studying aromatherapy on and off for about 25 years, I've never ever seen any mention of them being addictive. Does that answer your question, or shall I go on?
It does, Anna. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Oh, you're
I'm
welcome.
from the Caribbean as well, and we have parents, grandparents. My mom, she always has these bush, we call it bush, growing in our yard. When we get sick, she just get a leaf or something and rub it on us or draw, make tea, and then we are better. She has this lovely stuff. I don't know what they are, but they really work. And I'm saying, listening now to what you're saying, I'm being brought back to childhood memories of my mom growing these herbs in her yard, using them. And I'm wondering where did she learn all these things? But now that I'm a mother,
yeah,
I appreciate using them as well and seeing, learning from her.
Absolutely. Yeah. And nature is the best healer. I think the reason why we get addictive substances is because those substances are not coming from nature. Because when you use a whole plant, so for example, originally, aspirin, methyl salicylate, is a substance that was extracted from willow tree bark, the bark of the willow tree. So in the old days, traditionally, we would boil the willow bark and we would drink the tea to soothe headaches and just as a general analgesic. And nobody ever got addicted to it. Nobody ever had any side effects. It was all great. Then we started extracting and using a single chemical rather than all the compounds that are naturally occurring in the plant. And those compounds all work synergistically to either help each other work better or counteract some negative effects from the others. And we've lost that when we started using single compounds. And now that we use the salicylic acid rather than the whole plant of willow bark, we're getting ulcers, we're getting all sorts of problems with people taking aspirin, people are getting addicted. And all you have to do is just go back to the olden days, go back to nature, and you don't have those problems anymore. So if everyone's ready to jump back into the thing, let's look at some useful generalizations. So you want to use flower oils for things like fear, worry, emotional hurt, trauma, or lack of feeling safe or comfortable. So whatever states you want to anchor that are the opposite of that, think of, flower oils for kindness, confidence, feeling safe, and things like that. Mints are great for apathy, lack of motivation, insecurity, anxious feelings, fear of public speaking. And so we've got peppermint and spearmint there. They tend to classify wintergreen with the mints, even though it's not a mint, it's a tree. But because it contains a high amount of methyl salicylate and also menthol, which generally occur in mints, it's generally lumped together with mints. We've got herbs and grasses for feelings of anger, bitterness, irritation, or discontentment. So herbs like basil, coriander, marjoram, and rosemary. The trees are very supportive. They're great for when you're grieving, sad, ashamed, or going through a period of serious life transition. So arbor vitae, cypress, Siberian fir, cedarwood are some examples. Citrus oils are fantastic. They're very uplifting. So when you're feeling distressed, unmotivated, sad, or down on yourself, grab your wild orange, lemon, lime, or grapefruit oil. And spices are great for when you're bored, disinterested, or somber. So things like cinnamon, black pepper, clove, and ginger kind of tend to bring you back to life. So here we've got the same information put visually into a wheel. So you see around the middle, we've got those emotions like discouraged, gloomy, and distressed. You want to reach for a citrus, somber, disinterested, bored for spices, and so on. doTERRA also has a kit called the Emotional Aromatherapy Kit, where they've mixed, for example, citrus oils and spice oils together to create a blend called Cheer, which is the uplifting blend, to create a bright disposition, cheerful attitude, and boost happiness and positivity. So how easy is that for anchoring? If your client says, I'd like to anchor a state that's happy and cheerful, well, bam, here we go. There's an oil for that. Between your spices and herbs and grasses, you've got Passion, which is the inspiring blend. When you want to, this would be Anthony Robbins's favorite blend, I think, because he always wants everyone to be passionate and excited and inspired. So rekindle excitement and inspire the willingness to take risks and make new discoveries. Use that oil to anchor those states. Between herbs and grasses and trees, we've got the Forgive Renewing blend. Release anger and guilt, move towards a feeling of relief and being renewed. So forgive would be good for when we want to anchor states of compassion, kindness, and forgiveness. With a blend of floral and tree oils, we've got Console, the comforting blend. Feel more hopeful, comforted, and emotionally balanced. So after someone has suffered a loss and maybe their grieving process is taking a little longer than they had hoped, and they need a little bit of help sort of anchoring a more hopeful and comforted feeling, this would be a great oil to anchor to those states. With your flower oils and mints, we've got a blend called Peace. It's a reassuring blend that supports feelings of reassurance, composure, and return to peace and presence. So one of my things, because I tend to have a really overactive mind that is always thinking and it runs at 1,000 miles a minute, anchoring a peaceful state where I'm just being present, I would go for this Peace blend. And finally, we've got mints and citruses blended together in Motivate, which is the encouraging blend. It strengthens your belief in yourself, increases courage, confidence, and unleashes creativity to manifest powerful results from your best efforts. So they've made it really easy for us to pick these oils for these particular states. And there's a quote there that I really like as well. You fill a bucket drop by drop. You clear your mind thought by thought. You heal yourself moment by moment. The emotional aromatherapy kit doesn't include oils for clear boundaries, so I've included some here. Clove is actually known as the oil of boundaries. Energetically, mentally, and emotionally, clove assists in promoting healthy boundaries, helping you feel empowered and encouraged to stand strong and break patterns of being victimized. Victims feel very influenced by others and external circumstances. They perceive themselves as powerless to change their life circumstances. So clove helps these individuals by allowing them to stand up for their needs and speak for themselves. Clove may also help a person struggling with codependency, or conversely, those who find themselves too dominating or crossing the boundaries of others, by also learning to stand independent of others. Along these lines, it might help a person learn not to care so much about what others think and learn to love and accept themselves. So what a great oil to anchor loving and accepting yourself and having clear boundaries. Clove helps you reconnect to your sense of personal integrity with all the appropriate boundaries and defenses at play. If you're a pushover, Clove will give you the courage to say no. Tea tree is a great heart chakra oil. It's also a great disinfectant, and it can clear negative energetic baggage caused by individual relationships. These relationships come in many forms: people, microorganisms in the physical body, or spiritual beings, and can drain our energy through energy leakage. This oil helps to break the negative ties in these parasitic relationships so that new healthy boundaries may be formed. Tea tree oil encourages an individual to relinquish all forms of self-betrayal, including allowing others to take advantage of one's time, energy, or talents. So if people tend to take advantage of you, tea tree is your oil. Do the power stance that Anthony Robbins teaches, and aromatically anchor tea tree to that powerful and standing up for yourself state. Letting others feed on one's energy, not standing up for oneself, or feeling responsible for the problems of others. Then we've got a blend called On Guard, which is the oil of protection. This unique blend of wild orange, clove, cinnamon, eucalyptus, and rosemary is incredibly helpful for strengthening the inner self, especially for those that have a weakened boundary due to a violation of their personal space. So if you've got a lot of clients who tend to have weak boundaries, this would be a great oil to use for anchoring with them. This unique blend gives individuals the strength to say no to people or situations that are not serving them and maintain their clear boundaries. This blend is also fantastic for strengthening our immunity against bacteria, mold, viruses, or any pathogens. Turn to this blend in times when you need to stand up for your true self. It's also a great choice when needed to cut out codependency, parasitic relationships, or difficult times frequently found with boundary dilation. And finally, the last lot of states, I've called them calming. So we've got feeling grateful, grounded, present, switching off after work, and getting to sleep. So the best essential oils for calming, grounding, and sleep. Balance is a blend that contains spruce leaf, wood, frankincense, blue tansy, blue chamomile, and osmanthus. So in human clinical research, inhalation of spruce leaf essential oil was shown to promote feelings of calm and relaxation. Wood is rich in linalool, known for calming properties, and that's actually the main component of lavender oil as well, linalool. Frankincense resin has been valued since antiquity for its beautifying and grounding properties. It offers a warm and slightly spicy scent that provides a soothing and balancing experience. Blue tansy flower contains sabinine, camphor, and chamazoline. It has a characteristically mellow balsamic odor, perfect for restoring and relaxing. Blue chamomile flower, particularly rich in chamazoline, valued for its calming effects when experienced aromatically. And osmanthus flower, shown in clinical research to reduce feelings of stress when inhaled. So especially if you're trying to wind down after work or get grounded, this is a fantastic oil to anchor those states. Then we've got another blend called Adaptive. It's the calming blend. So doTERRA has its own scientists and they perform their own clinical studies. And I read about this clinical study, which was very, very interesting. Basically, they put subjects into 2 rooms and gave them a very, very difficult test with basically not enough time to complete the test. They made sure that all the participants were very, very stressed. And in one of the rooms, they diffused Adaptive. In reference to the test scores, none of which were very high, considering the difficulty of the test, many participants still scored higher when undertaking the tests in the Adaptive room. Also, with Adaptive diffusing, average heart rates were lower and more consistent. Participants self-reported having lower levels of stress and anxious feelings when taking the assessment in the Adaptive room, even though they had no idea what room they were in or what was being diffused. There was also a small subset of participants who were taking part in an extended clinical trial involving the Adaptive Calming Blend capsules. So they were taking the blend internally as well as having it diffused in the room. Those specific participants reported the lowest stress levels of all. So this would be a wonderful blend to anchor with calm states. And if you are choosing between balance and Adaptive, I would say use Adaptive when you're trying to sort of slow down the mind. If you've got an overactive mind like I do, or a client who's always, thinking at 1,000 miles an hour and stressing themselves out by doing that, use Adaptive. Balance is more for grounding emotions and feeling calm. Then we've got Lavender Peace, fantastic for winding down and going to sleep. I've got a testimonial about this blend. Actually, I've got testimonials about everything I've talked about today. They're all fantastic. I use them a lot. But between a year and a half and 2 years ago, I got poisoned by glyphosate. And it was absolutely, absolutely horrible. I couldn't move, couldn't get out of bed for 2 weeks. My organs were shutting down. It was terrible. And since that time, I've had trouble sleeping. I've had the worst insomnia. Lavender Peace has completely fixed that problem. I sleep really, really well as long as I'm diffusing this oil. When my bottle runs out and I have to wait for the new one to arrive, I can't sleep at all. So this is a wonderful oil to anchor a state that's calm enough that you can go to sleep. So Lavender Peace combines wood, floral, and herbal essential oils, renowned for their ability to calm tension and promote a good night's rest. 9 key ingredients contribute to the blend's restful qualities. Ylang-ylang flower, the oil's calming properties were noticed in the early 20th century by French chemists. Roman chamomile is an emotionally comforting and calming oil. It is revered for its ability to calm, relax, and quiet the body and mind. Lavender has been used since antiquity to dispel tension and relieve anxious feelings. Vetiver essential oil is one of the most grounding essential oils. It's also known as the horse tranquilizer. It'll put you to sleep and it will keep you asleep in a deep sleep, which is fantastic. Hoewood essential oil is calming thanks to its high concentration of linalool. Hawaiian sandalwood essential oil is a woody, earthy, and relaxing. Marjoram is emotionally soothing. Cedarwood is high in cedrol, which has been studied extensively for its ability to calm the nerves. And the vanilla absolute soothes away worry and encourages feelings of love and connection. So by now you're probably thinking, ay caramba, that is a lot of oils. How do you choose which one to use and when, how many to get, and all of that stuff. So let's simplify. Remember this, we've got kits that we can get. So for example, this emotional aromatherapy kit that has already selected oils for us that are perfect for anchoring. And this is what it looks like. There are 5 ml bottles of each of the oils. And the price is $260. If that's your first order, you also pay $35 for a membership, which then gives you 25% discount on any further purchases. And there's heaps of freebies every month and everything. doTERRA's always throwing in something for free. So that's what you get from doTERRA. Or if you're working with a client and they're working with those states and they want to buy this kit, this is what they get from doTERRA. What you and they get from me, in addition to that, is a free 2-week online course to learn more uses for your oils, because every oil has so many wonderful uses. You get a free consultation with me to get started. You get into our VIP education group, which is full of resources. There's ongoing support, business training, how to incorporate the oils into your business and all of that, and access to me anytime. You can call me, email me, ask any questions you like. Never have to worry about disturbing me because my phone goes on airplane mode when I sleep. So anytime is fine. So there are better options to start with than the emotional aromatherapy kit. There are starter packs that you can get, which give you a free wholesale membership, so you save that $35. For example, we've got an emotional wellness pack, which includes that balance grounding blend that we talked about. Citrus Bliss is an invigorating blend that's made of a blend of different citrus oils plus vanilla. So that would be fantastic for anchoring any state where you want to feel uplifted and energized and invigorated, passionate, ready to get in and get things done. Lavender Peace is the restful blend. Clementine essential oil is it's another citrus essential oil, very uplifting. So remember, you want a unique anchor for each different state. So it's good to have the Citrus Bliss and the Clementine anyway. Then you've got the Adaptive Tranquil blend in there as well. And the great thing about this one is that it also throws in a diffuser for free. So you can just diffuse the oils in the room as you're studying or whatever it is that you're trying to, resting the states that you're trying to achieve. And that one's $226. Alternatively, you can get the Essentials pack. And that comes with doTERRA's top 10 oils: lemon, lavender, peppermint, tea tree, eucalyptus, frankincense, balance, on guard, Zen Jest, which we haven't talked about, and Easy Air, which we haven't talked about yet. And this comes with the free wholesale membership as well. And it comes either in 5 ml bottles or 15 ml bottles. The 5 ml bottles is great if you just want to get started with minimum outlay for $185. Or if you pay less than double that, you get triple the oils in 15 ml bottles. So the 5 ml is called the Family Essentials, and the 15 ml is called the Home Essentials. So now I'm gonna get you guys to unmute yourself, and I'll give you a little test to see how well you've been paying attention. Who remembers what you might use lemon, what kind of states you might use lemon to anchor?
I mean, before I go ahead and answer that question, I know Jenny had a question of her own. Would it be okay if she go ahead and ask that one, Anna?
Yes, of course. Sorry, I can't
Okay,
see the
awesome.
chat because I've got
Yeah, I
my
know. I realize that. I realize that. No problem. I got you. I got you. Okay, Jenny, you can go ahead.
Oh, it's just me again, right, Anna? I have plenty of ladies in my corner who would be so interested in these. I have a lady too, a supplier, a Jamaican, who is an expert in this too. She has been on one of my programs, and she's just really wonderful with this. All that you have been saying, she has said it too. But I'm wondering for if you have any for that can be used as an aphrodisiac.
Oh, yes.
For one of my ladies. I'm thinking the passion or something like that.
Yes. There are many oils that are aphrodisiac. Ylang ylang is a really good one. That's probably the best known one. Rose can be an aphrodisiac as well. Basically, flower oils can do that. And there was a recent study, actually. I can't remember if it was in 2021 or 2022 that they did this study. This might get a little bit graphic. So the scientists had various types of equipment attached to men's genitals to measure blood flow and levels of arousal. And they tested various substances to see what the men reacted to. And it turns out that the best aphrodisiac for men was the smell of lavender essential oil and also pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin pie?
Pumpkin pie, yes. So if you're looking for an aphrodisiac for men, even men who subjectively said they don't like the smell of lavender, their genitals told a different story.
I can tell my ladies that. Mm-hmm.
And for ladies, ylang ylang, rose, magnolia, flower oils.
Mm. Yeah, that's really interesting.
I wonder if it's maybe got something to do with the spices that are in pumpkin pie, like cinnamon and clove and things like that. Cardamom, maybe. I know there's a lot of cinnamon used in pumpkin pie, so it might be like connected to the cinnamon essential oil.
That's a great hypothesis. I like that. Because the pumpkin pie is never just pumpkin, is it? It's always spiced up with something nice.
Oh, to answer your question about lemon, was it for clarity and focus?
Yes, well done. Definitely. And also, do you remember what else? A lot of these are multifunctional. So lemon is also good for positivity and creativity.
Sorry, my dog's going nuts.
So who remembers what lavender, what kind of states lavender might be good for anchoring?
Makes you
Maybe let me jump in and go ahead. Go ahead, Jenny. Go ahead.
Sense of calmness, inner peace, tranquility. Yes.
Male arousal.
Yes. How about peppermint?
Creativity.
Focus, flow. Yeah,
Yes.
that's one of the
Create-
big dogs. Yeah.
How about tea tree?
I only know, like, I can't remember what it's good for as an aromatherapy, but I know it's very good for like treating skin disorders and things. It's like a very good what's the word? Antibacterial?
Yes, yes, it is. It's antibacterial. It's great on insect bites, any kind of like scrapes, or it's great for healing the skin. Also good for the hair and teeth. You can put a drop in your mouthwash or just in water and use it as a mouthwash. Or if you forget your toothpaste when you're traveling, just put a drop of tea tree or peppermint for that matter onto your toothbrush and just brush with that. They are both very antibacterial. But in terms of anchoring, does anyone remember what tea tree can be used for?
If it falls under the tree class, if I remember from the wheel that you showed us, it's one of the trees, right? So it would be for things like shame, feeling ashamed about something, feeling guilt, and there was another one that I can't remember.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else? Boundaries. Tea tree is great for feeling confident enough to have clear boundaries and to say no. Now, who remembers eucalyptus? Blake, do you remember? My lovely assistant also doesn't remember. Yep, it's good for clarity and creativity as well. How about frankincense?
Also for creativity. I while we were talking about it, actually, I actually just finished watching a documentary today on like ancient Jerusalem and biblical times, and how frankincense has been incorporated into spiritual practices for thousands and thousands of years. And it actually got me thinking about it, knowing that I was coming to this workshop. I was like, I wonder if they're going to bring up frankincense. And here you are talking about it.
Yes, frankincense is the king of oils. It's good for absolutely everything. If you can only have one oil in your life, it's got to be frankincense, because just no matter what you're using it for, when in doubt, just try frankincense first. And yeah, in terms of anchoring, it would be fantastic for either focus or creativity. You can pick and choose with frankincense. It's good for everything.
You had me when you said writer's block. I was like, I'm buying it right now, like right now.
Yeah, right. How good is it? Yeah, and it smells really interesting. It's a very unique. It's got a very complex chemistry. It's got over 100 constituents, and it's just so distinctive. Now, balance. I know it already lets you cheat by saying grounding there, but can you remember any other states that you might want to anchor with balance?
I would say like something like anxiety. That's the one that immediately comes to mind.
Fantastic, yes. So grounding and balancing emotions and winding down after work and just relaxing.
Anna, I saw made a note particularly about recovery and repair of the brain, because I have a friend who's had brain cancer and been through a lot. So the other one I noticed was like the activity for the mind and brain.
And that's with frankincense.
With frankincense, yeah, yeah. So what blend just pure the frankincense, or is there a special blend which would be best for that circumstance?
For brain repair, absolutely frankincense. And in fact, there's no one from the TGA here in the group, is there? We're not allowed to say this in public. So this is a private meeting. There's no public here. So I'll be able to say this. With frankincense, you put a drop on your thumb and then hold it up to the roof of your mouth for about 30 seconds. Dissolves brain cancers, brain tumors. It's absolutely magical.
Wow. Yeah.
Definitely frankincense internally, and specifically hold it up to the roof of your mouth. You want to bring it as close to the problem area as possible.
Wonderful. That's interesting. Thanks.
Yeah, frankincense is just spectacular. On guard, who remembers what states we might want to anchor with on guard?
Protection. That's what I can remember.
I'd imagine for setting boundaries as well.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
Having the
boundaries.
confidence to say no to people, not to be taken advantage of. Yeah, excellent. So then there are other two oils in this pack which we haven't talked about before. Zengest, also known as Digest Zen. Some oils carry different names in different countries. This is a digestive oil blend. So it contains things like ginger and peppermint and fennel. So ginger helps with nausea, fennel helps with cramping, any kind of cramping, whether it's digestive cramps, muscle cramps, menstrual cramps. Fennel is amazing for that. Peppermint helps gut motility. It's also got caraway and I think star anise in it. And yeah, so any kind of nausea, motion sickness, digestive sort of issues, we can take this Zengest either internally or rub it on our belly. And it hasn't been studied for any of the states we want to anchor, but knowing what we know about how essential oils work in similar ways energetically as they do physically, if you wanted to anchor a state where you are, you know, when something makes you sick to your stomach, but obviously not literally, but just, you know, like brings up disgust and figuratively nausea, you might use Zengest to anchor a state that's the opposite of that, just you know, calm and chill and cool with anything. It helps you digest life energetically as well. Or you can just keep it to use physically only. Not every oil needs to needs to be an anchor. And then we've got Easy Air, which is a fantastic blend for clearing the sinuses and helping you breathe clearly and easily. And that's got a tea tree and peppermint and, oh, I forgot what else it's got in it. Let me just pull it out and have a read. It's got laurel leaf, eucalyptus, peppermint, tea tree, lemon, cardamom, Ravensara, and Ravensara as well. So you might just want to keep this only as a physical oil, or you can use it energetically as well. But you know, those Vicks Vapor Rubs and all those types of products, yes, they contain the same sort of chemicals, but they're all synthetically made, and they're usually you know, blended in a petrochemical jelly rather than being a natural substance from plants. So this is a really powerful, very nice blend to use to clear sinuses, and especially if you've got kids who are always getting the sniffles, that's a really nice oil to have as well. So if you wanted to start with individual oils rather than that emotional wellness pack, here you get 10 oils plus a fractionated coconut oil, but you don't get the diffuser. With the emotional wellness pack, you do get the diffuser. So when you are working with clients and you're choosing, you know, which oils to recommend to the clients, it's probably easiest, rather than, you know, just grabbing random oils and buying them individually. It's definitely cheaper to just get a pack. So if you can select the oils that are in a pack and then present the pack to your clients as an option, where, you know, if you'd like to have this pack and then you have these oils to work with your anchors by yourself at home. They're empowered, they've got this membership, and they are your customers. So even when they do eventually stop coming for coaching sessions, you've still got them as a customer. They know how to use the oils. They're educated because they get the education when they sign up as well. And yeah, you still have a bit of residual income coming in rather than just losing the clients. So it's just a no-brainer in my mind. The other resource that you can offer your clients that's quite helpful is this little book called Essential Emotions, and it comes with an emotional essential emotion wheel. So on one side of the wheel, you've got your negative emotions. I want to feel less this or this. I know that the type is very, very small, but you can see that the emotions are, I wonder if I can zoom in. The emotions are kind of, oops, broken up into sections. So for example, overwhelmed includes overworked, hurried, negative family patterns, burnt out, fatigued, unstable, inherited limitations, stressed, upset, unappreciated, overstimulated, unsteady, and so on. And each of the emotions is linked to a particular oil. So if they feel overworked, take tangerine. If we feel hurried, hinoki. Negative family patterns, Douglas fir. Feeling burnt out, island mint, and so on. So it just makes it really easy for the client, when they do feel overwhelmed with a negative emotion, not to get stuck in it and to just go to the emotion wheel, grab the oil, and give themselves relief. On the other side of the emotion wheel, this is what we want for anchoring. These are the positive emotions. So I want to feel more, let's take clarity as an example. Confident speaking, spearmint. Wisdom, Douglas fir. Cleansed, lemongrass. Purified, there's a blend called Purify. Let's see, integrity, coriander. Knowledgeable, petitgrain, rosemary. So it would be quite easy to just find, if you're not quite sure what state you want to anchor, you just have a look at the wheel. You know, what would I like more of? Well, when was the last time I felt knowledgeable? Get into that state, try and relive the memory. Bam, grab a sniff of rosemary when you're at the peak level of feeling knowledgeable. Off you go. It's just makes it simple and easy to select the oils. You don't have to spend 25 years studying aromatherapy to know which oils go with what. Just have a look at the wheel and Bob's your uncle.
Boom! You made it here! Good on you. Make sure you click the subscribe button below and check out the playlist at the end. If you'd like to come along to our Sunday sessions where we host a live free Q&A for our students and members, you're welcome. I'll see you there.